Welcome everybody back to the channel. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web, bringing you a brand new replay commentary today from the Glenstorm Cup. This is a round 4 map from the Glenstorm Cup that is currently still going on. We are playing on Mists of Avalorn today, and we have an interesting one. We have P-Dog954 versus Clozo, two people that I actually know in Advance Wars and have played many games with. Now, Clozo I've only really played team games with, but P-Dog and I, we've played a couple matches against each other, and you know, they were matches, indeed. But today, they're playing against each other, and when I saw this happening, I was like, whoa, I have no idea who's gonna win. So, I was following the game along, yada yada yada. Long story short, the match eventually ended, and we're gonna find out who won today. Now, this is a high funds match. And Mists of Avalorn, very popular high funds map. Anybody that has dove into the high funds ladder has probably come across this map once or twice at least. This is a mixed base map with bases in the center and in the corners. So it can get pretty interesting pretty quickly. There's a lot of angles to attack when it comes to this one and a lot of strategy involved. But this is high funds, you know. So the most strategy you're probably going to see is big tank energy. That's what I'm talking about. And I think we are going to have a mega good time with this one, folks. Now, both players have decided to choose Jess for this one. And Jess is a pretty cool pick for this one because she gets a day-to-day of plus 10% firepower bonus for all those direct combat land units and indirect. Basically just land units, you know. Land vehicles get that firepower bonus. Very, very strong. But turbocharge and overdrive will actually increase that firepower, but also refuel her units. So Jess is the Mega Tank champion of Advance Wars, folks. The Mega Tank champion of Advance Wars. I've seen this map played a bunch of different ways, you know. People tend to try to go for the center properties. They try to go for the airports. Now, the airports are very isolated, and they're not very good for Jess because she gets a decrease in firepower for those air units, correct? Yes, I know. 100%. Now, how do you get to that airport? That's a good question. You need a black boat or a lander. That's what you need. You need to funnel the lander all the way down the shoreline and hope to good lord you don't get blocked along the way, because those shoal tiles are easily blocked by the opponent. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one, and we're gonna see what happens today. Alrighty, folks, so I do apologize to Clozo, but I am changing your color to pink because that's just the way it is, folks. That's just the way it is. It's easier to see, for one. And two, pink. That's right. That's the way it goes. So, this is going to be a cool one, I think. But you know what? Every single Advance Wars game always starts the exact same way. Standard infantry builds. That's what it is, folks. You got to get the infantry on the field. Interesting. Okay, so we are going to have a few lone infantry that just decide to go against the grain and are looking a different direction. So let's keep track of these guys and see if they end up falling at some point. I don't know if they do or not. Okay, going for those bases, you know, that's the most important thing. So cool. So both players are going for the capture chains here on the corner. These two properties, pretty important in high funds. You know, you grab them really quickly. You can start funneling your units over here. Maybe grab this property and grab this property before your opponent decides to take this area right here. Now, some people decide to go for the port first. You know, I don't really think it's like super overly important to go for the port first. But if you do go for the port first, what can happen is you can build a black boat super early. And you might even be able to get it all the way over here to that little airport. Or maybe this airport here, you know, if the pink decides to do it too. Now, if you wait for too long, it's going to be virtually impossible to get your port over there. Or not your port, but your black boat, your lander, whatever you decide to do. But, I mean, that's not necessarily impossible to get an airport. You know, you could still send your black boat into the middle, grab this property, and then maybe even send it all the way over here and grab the one over here. But We'll see. We'll see what happens, folks. We'll see what happens. Pink versus gray today. That's what we got going on. Clozo versus P-Dog. A fight of the century here. Now, we have an early tank here from P-Dog. Not super uncommon to see an early tank pop up here. Now, high funds, you might see a couple different strategies popping up here. People might go early tanks. People might save up for a big old stinky Neo tank early on. You never know what people are going to do in high funds, you know? Clozo decides to build an artillery and a tank. Now, building a tank out of the center property, pretty good, I think. It's pretty important to build some units here. Because if you don't, you will eventually be fighting this little section here. So you have two bases here going into one base here, two bases here going into one base here. So getting some vehicles in there, getting some tech ups in there, super, super important for holding that area. 100%. Alrighty. Looks like P-Dog is going up to try to capture the comm tower right now, which is pretty good. Tank already from the southern properties, and a tank from the center. Because it's high funds, we can afford it, folks. Alright. So, in response to that, Clozo decides to go for a couple more capture chains here, brings the tank over, shit on shitty, and we got a big old stinky tank right here, which is just kind of hanging out right now. Now, tanks from this position are, I mean, they're not bad, they're good. Obviously, a tank from any position is always good. This tank here can either reinforce this side over here or go straight down here. Now, it is actually very important that you build vehicles out of these corner properties as well. You don't really want to neglect them, because for one, then you're only going to be stuck with infantry fighting right here. And two, this is the only base that can directly reinforce this area in the center as well. So you definitely want to get some dudes popping up out of there. Okay, so P-Dog decides to do a little bit of a different route here. So Clozo decides to sit on this property right here. And it looks like P-Dog decides to move over here to sit his tank over here on this property right here. It's very, very cool. This is gonna actually work to deny a capture over here from Clozo. So that is gonna be a no capture zone, that's for sure. Alrighty. What else do we got going on? We got a tank right here. Tanks right here. Tanks right here. Tanks right here. Yep, that's about it. Double tank from the southern property. So now this area is looking pretty strong right now. We got 4 tanks and an artillery, 4 infantry available for captures. And Clozo's got 2 tanks right here, a tank right there. But it is his turn, so he's probably going to be able to plop out a lot of units here, especially with, what does that say, like 29,000 GP? 29,000 money? Oh, that's a lot of money. You can buy a lot of cool stuff with 29,000 GP. You can afford yourself a medium tank, and that's probably all you need in life is just a medium tank. But, you know, Clozo, he's a little bit of a different guy, you know, he does a couple different strategies. Going with the black boat. So this is what I was saying with the black boat. If you can get the black boat out, bomb, plop it right there. If nothing happens to block your way, bomb, you can go all the way down here, grab the airport. Or you can send the infantry to the center and start grabbing one of those properties, and maybe even 2 if your opponent doesn't decide to go for that too. Now, there is also another interesting strategy that you can do that involves a lander. So you can actually get a lander, and you can plop an artillery on one of these 2 properties and lock this base or this base right here, which can be incredibly powerful, especially when you have threat from over here, right? So you lock a base, and you got threat coming from over here. Anything you build here gets auto hit. Easy overtake of the base, folks. But that also requires that you build a lander, which is going to put you a little bit behind when it comes to overall tanks on the field, you know? So, we also have a black boat here from P-Dog, so he is no slouch when it comes to the naval combat, as we can see here. Now, there's not actually really going to be any naval combat on this map, I don't think. You don't normally see naval combat happening, but you never know. You never know. I wouldn't pass it by for somebody in high funds to go and plop a battleship, like anywhere. So, you know. Oh, there we go. So, things have gotten super interesting. We have a mega tank on the field. A big super nice, beautiful mega tank. 3 cannons, no 5 cannons on that mega tank, I believe. So very, very cool stuff. And mega tank out of the middle property too. So essentially this mega tank right now is just saying like, yep, I'm not afraid of this section over here. You know, you can build as many little boys as you want, as long as I got my big boy right here. Ain't nothing crossing that path of that big boy right there. So yeah, that is some big tank energy for sure over there from Clozo. I think it's a good buy in my opinion too. As Jess, you know, mega tanks are good. You always have a good time with a mega tank. Now, good placement of the tank right here, right out of range of the mega tank, right out of range of the tank right here. So this guy has nothing to fear at the moment. We have an early engagement. Day 8 engagement over here. We did see a tank. T-Dog decided to roll up with that tank and just take a nice big first shot on this guy right here. So very, very cool stuff. That's going to protect our cap. Not that he can get the cap anyways, but either way. He got that. Now the only problem is we do have 2 tanks from Clozo right here that are going to be able to swoop in and take another shot here. So he's got a nice little line right here, but we have 1, 2, 3 hits that we can do here. Now P-Dog does have 38 grand, 38,300 money saved up at the moment. So he is going to be able to buy some stuff. 100%. Buys a stinky Neo tank. That's what he decides to do with all his money. He could go up and he can buy literally anything in the entire game of Advanced Wars by Web, but he buys a stinky Neo tank. So, you know, that's what happens sometimes, folks. That's what happens. Sometimes you get stinky. Now, he did see an opportunity to take a few more strikes here, which I think is a really good idea. So you have a looming threat of a mega tank right here, but with the board state as it is, right, do you just sit here and bunker down and allow your opponent to just build more mega tanks? No, I don't think you do. What you do is you go up and you be aggressive and you just start taking shots at things, because the worst thing a mega tank is going to do is it's going to be able to destroy 1 unit. That's it, just 1 unit. That's all it can destroy. So unless the mega tank has some backup, I mean, it's not like the most threatening thing in the world. It's just the most threatening thing within 4 squares of itself. So let's continue on here. Okay, so we got a tank right here now. So this is cool. So P-Dog has a tank right here to defend this tank if the attacks decided to go in. But any attack that happens right here is just going to get hit by this sandwich of units right here. So Clozo's going to have to think really, really hard on this one and decide whether or not it's worth it to attack into this section and eventually just lose 3 tanks, or to pull back to a more defensive position and possibly figure out what's going on here, you know, possibly launch some kind of counterattack. Now, the other thing that I didn't mention is that actually this tank right here is a really, really good placement. Now, what this tank is actually doing, and it might seem a little bit out of place, but it's actually blocking the black boat right now. The black boat is not going to be able to get past this tile, which means that Clozo is not going to be able to send it over here and start capping these middle properties. Now, the other thing is P-Dog has blocked this tile right here, which means the only course of action if Clozo doesn't want this guy to go over here and start capping these middle properties is to put something right here and just hope that it doesn't die, which is going to be impossible because the Neo tank is going to counter that. The Neo tank is going to be able to one-shot anything that's sitting there. So Mega Tank is moving forward to just start feasting. 100% start feasting. And like I said, it's Jess, so you don't have to worry about that ammunition, because by the time you use those 3 shots, you have a co-power. 100%. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that you will always have a co-power after at least like 3 turns with the Mega Tank. Now, Mega Tank does have a pretty big weakness though, especially if you're not Jess, right? You can actually just sack 3 units into a Mega Tank. Like, let's say that you have a lot of weakened units, right? Let's say this tank right here. And, well, that's the only tank right here. But if you had another tank, right? They're both like, I don't know, 1 HP, 4 HP, something like that. This Mega Tank already took 1 shot, right? So you sack those 2 guys into the Mega Tank, and no, suddenly the Mega Tank has no ammunition and is vulnerable to extra attacks. So if you have something like a medium tank close by, or even the dreaded stinky Neo Tank, you know, that guy can just like roll right up there and take a big old shot on the Neo Tank and not even have to worry about counter damage. The only thing you do have to worry about is if, you know, you're fighting Jess, boom, next turn, you get a co-power, that guy's full on ammunition again, and he's just gonna have a field day with you. 100% there. Alright. So P-Dog decides to move in, taking a few more shots, loses a big old luck roll right here. You hate to see that, folks. This is like one of the worst feelings in Advance Wars. So, you got a 1 HP unit fighting another 1 HP unit, and usually the roll is between like, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 7% damage, something like that. And you're just hoping that you do it and you don't. And you just don't. That's just the way it goes. Then you have to use a full HP unit just to finish it off, which is very unfortunate. Now, if that attack did work, this little setup would look a lot different than what it does. But Clozo did build a big old classy medium tank, so hats off to you, Clozo. You are a classy lad. 100% classy lad. Alright, P-Dog decides to build a mega tank of his own down in the southernmost property, and sending the Neo Tank over here to start assisting this little blob of units right here. Builds a medium tank to start defending against this area by the looks of it here. Now, there's not really going to be much that can stop this at the moment. Neo Tank is going to be able to come in and reinforce this area pretty hard. So, Clozo's going to have to start thinking about some really big plays over here. Like, he might have to start building a Neo Tank, stinky Neo Tank out of this property like every turn in order to help to overrun this area. But, I mean, he's also got the looming threat of danger over here with all these units pressed out super far. And if he ends up losing these properties in the cap, that is going to put him behind like quite a bit. Like right now it's 42 to 42 income, which is not really too bad. But I mean, if those guys manage to flip, then it's going to be like 48 to like 36 or something. And that is not a situation you want to be in. Trust me on that. Alright, Clozo. Ooh, we got a turbo charge, so this is nice. This is good right now. So we have a cap going on right here, which may or may not be interrupted. There is a possibility that we might be able to block it off. If we can at least maybe KO this guy and move these guys forward, maybe start cap here, maybe bring the artilleries into the forest or something and like form a little line, it might be okay. So we'll see what happens. Now, do that. Okay, so we take out an infantry. So as I recall, this infantry is capping right now. So big old one shot right there. Very nice. Mega tank moves in, takes out another guy on a forest. Easy kill. Infantry does 1 damage to the little artillery, which is pretty good. Jess has weak infantry too, by the way, folks. I know you all probably know that, but I just gotta say it just in case, you know, just in case there's that one guy. It's like, oh, Sammy, did you know that Jess's infantry are weak? Yes. Thanks. Appreciate it. Alright. So we decide to hang out up here, actually, which is kind of interesting. One of our infantry is still alive, by the way, this guy right here. Just hanging on, hanging on. This is not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. If we attacked into this right now, that would just be a very, very bad situation. I don't think P-Dog's plan is to attack into this. If I was guessing, P-Dog might just either bunker up in this area right here, or he might send these guys down here to assist in this front. Because, like, whoa, Clozo's got 2 mega tanks now. Spooky stuff. Spooky stuff. Now, are we going to do a co-power? No, it doesn't look like we're doing a co-power yet. Stinky boy taking out the classy boy. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. But it happens. It does happen sometimes. Alright, so we are doing our best to trap that Mega Tank right now. The Mega Tank doesn't really have too many options at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so this is actually a very nice position. So what we managed to do here is we managed to trap in the Mega Tank. So the Mega Tank only has a few options here. You know, the Mega Tank could potentially go and take a shot at this guy. He could potentially take a shot at this or this guy. But he won't be able to hit the Neo Tank. So this guy will be able to go up and take a shot on one of these two tanks. So the worst case scenario right now is P-Dog is going to lose 2 units from this. And in all reality, it's most likely what's going to happen is this Mega Tank is just going to sit on that city. Because that's honestly the strongest position for it. So I might as well, like, attack this. And this guy might as well come down and attack that. It's probably the best option. And then you just build another Mega Tank. And then you just have the Mega Tank show going on here. Because that's really, it's probably your only option. I mean, it's impossible to actually go up and dislodge this infantry. So that property is going to get capped. But you know what? I'm not P-Dog, so we're going to see what P-Dog decides to do. Using the Black Bolt to heal the infantry after the engagement is a good little idea, for sure. Builds another classy boy. Beautiful. Recon Neo Tank down the south as well. And looks like we're just bunkering down here. We don't really want to be pushing out. Because, well, threat of the Neo Tank right here is pretty significant. Threat of the artilleries are pretty significant. I mean, at this point, if we flip this city, it's okay to lose this city. I think that's probably his thought process right now. Now, Clozo, on the other hand. Clozo has got just this murderous look in his eyes right now, and he just wants those Mega Tanks to feed. He wants them to get their fill. So let's watch these Mega Tanks get their fill. Easy one shot right there. Another easy one shot. Another Mega Tank build. Like, oh my lord. That's some spooky stuff. The one thing that is interesting about the map right now is P-Dog does have an overdrive ready. And this overdrive would be able to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll be able to strike this guy down. Now, a Mega Tank plus artillery plus Neo Tank will definitely take down a Mega Tank. But that'll also leave it so Clozo will have another co-power, and then he'll have to P-Dog will have to contend with like 2 Mega Tank hits. So, spooky stuff. Looks like Clozo is playing it pretty defensively up north too. Now, I don't think there's really much point for him to push into this at the moment. His main goal right now would be to flip these 3 properties because of the threat down here. Now, this side is going pretty good for Clozo. He's got the 3 Mega Tanks on the field, you know, not really anything to worry about. So this side right here, it's just a matter of flipping the properties. And once you have the properties, there's no other threat right here. So all these guys can just slowly push down and smother this little section here. Pillow style. Alright. Day 11. P-Dog's turn. Are we going to have an overdrive? Ooh, we got an overdrive. Jess is super co-power. And I might say it's probably one of my favorite co-powers in the entire game. Overdrive, such powerful power. 100%. Alright, so we do an attack right here, doing 1 damage. So it's got 1 ammunition left. Okay, so this is what I was saying a little bit earlier. So it looks like we are trying to take the ammo out of this thing. Most likely we're trying to take the ammo out of this thing so we can hit it with the Neo Tank by the looks of it here. And if we can just take a moment to just look upon that pure damage from that Mega Tank right there, that is insane damage. Insane damage. Easy tank, roll up, finish the guy off too. So like I said, this guy's got 1 ammo right now. So it would be, ooh, we're gonna take the engagement. Ooh. I guess that's fine. You know what? It's not really that bad of a counterattack. We only took 4 damage in a counter, so that's not too bad. Maybe what we're going to see is we're going to see 2 tanks roll up and take 2 more shots on this guy, which might be pretty good. The other thing about this too is it's actually defending the mega tank right now. So are we gonna see a double hit right here? Ooh, takes it down to 2, takes it down to 0. Whoa, 2 mega tanks down for the price of 1 mega tank this turn. Overdrive, folks. It is a doozy of a power, and we have an extra engagement up north here, taking a shot on this tank. Nice little engagement right there. So now we get to find out what the Classy Boys are up to today. The Classy Boys are just hanging out, having a good time. That's their plan. They are just having a good time right there. Just being classy. You'll love to see it, folks. So that was a pretty good super co-power turn, if I might say so myself. Managed to take out 2 mega tanks. So it's going to be up to Clozo to try to figure something out here. Now, it might be possible. With an overdrive, we might be able to plop over here, take out this guy with a tank, come up with Neo, maybe Neo 2 tank into this guy. That might be enough to take it out, but I'm not 100% sure on that, because we are sitting on 140% defense right here with the power usage. So it might not be enough. Double mega tank, taking another shot down here. Alright, so Clozo is full sending those mega tanks right now. Plops an overdrive later. That's kind of interesting. Okay. I have a theory here for probably why... Oh, it's a turbocharge. Okay, I have a theory for why the turbocharge would pop. This mega tank took a shot, right? This Neo tank took a shot, and like a few other like minor engagements happened. So I think the turbocharge is mostly to, well, for one, refuel this guy, which is pretty good. But other than that, I can't quite figure out why else he would do it, unless it's mostly just positioning. So let's see what happens here. No, it looks like it was mostly just positioning, I guess. Neo tank moves all the way down here. No, that moved before. I'm not sure why the turbocharge popped. Interesting. Oh, what is this luck damage over here? Okay, so this wasn't luck damage, obviously. So 6 HP, Neo tank sack into the mega tank to do 2 damage. Pretty good. But then this right here, that is like, that's luck. Oh, that's luck. And that actually, that was a pretty good engagement. So 6 HP Neo tank is not really going to be doing too much against a against the mega tank horde, right? So we actually managed to sack it, somehow do 1 damage with a infantry. I don't know, but we did the damage, and then just plop up with this guy right here. So that was a nice little attack. I just don't think that attack should have worked, especially with the defense bonus, right? I know it's like nothing here, but that's still 10% defense, you know, on a mega tank. I don't think that chip damage should happen. Oh lord, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. So turbocharge in order to get a Neo tank strike here. First strike on the Neo tank. Super powerful attack. Super powerful attack. Take a shot on the artillery. And it looks like we are going to be attempting to lock in the mega tank. Well, we're not 100% locked in, but we are kind of like locked in a little bit. So this is like a pretty interesting little tactic right here from P-Dog. So by putting the Neo tank right here, it's actually forcing the mega tank to either, 1, base lock itself, or 2, not attack the Neo tank. So yeah, that's a pretty good move. Pretty good move right there, if I might say so myself. Alright, day 12. And this is only day 12, folks. So, I mean, high funds. Tournament play. Semi-finals of this bracket. You can see right here that the tactics are pretty crazy when it comes to this level of play. Both of these players are rated roughly around 1300, or in the realm of 1300, by the way. Alright, so Closer does a big old shift right here, and this is actually looking pretty spooky right now. So, P-Dog has sent most of his units down here in order to assist in the destruction of this base. He's left this side kind of a little bit undefended. Clozo, unfortunately, with the Mega Tank spam that's been going on, he hasn't quite been able to reinforce this side very well. He is ahead in overall properties, though, at the moment. It looks like that is going to be changing here next turn, but he is ahead for now, so he's got the funds. But by building a Mega Tank here every single day, it's just limiting the amount of stuff he's able to buy on other properties here. So, let's see what happens here. Doing a sack into this so we don't lose the property. Okay, so that's very nice. So worst case scenario right now is capture this property, and then it's an even game when it comes to income. Now, P-Dog has kind of a pretty nice position right here. Now there is a possibility of dislodging this Mega Tank, I believe. So let's see what he decides to do here. So blocks in. No, that's not how I wanted it to happen. That's not how I want. Why? They were so classy. Like, why? No, stop. Stop. He's already dead. Oh no. Why did we have to use the classy boy? He was so nice. He was a beautiful boy. And takes out the artillery too. Wow. Alright, Stinky Neo Tank protecting the medium tank. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. This is good. This is what I like to see. It's good. Yeah, sacrifice the Neo Tank to let the medium tank live. That is a nasty little base capture right there. So we managed to, well, we also managed to join cap. No, we didn't join cap. We used this infantry to block this, start another cap. So it's very cool. And then this is just such a nasty little base capture right here. So we're gonna see if, oh, and we use turbocharge. Turbocharge for the defense, I think. Yep. Yeah, that's what it is. Turbocharge for the defense. Although I really don't see any way that this would be busted through anyways. Because like Mega Tank can only attack like one thing. This Neo Tank is not gonna have enough firepower to blast open this guy, and then there's no other attacks. So whether or not the defense was needed, that's another story, but I mean, like, it's nice to have a security blanket for sure. Alright, so Stinky Neo Tank destroyed. Second Stinky Neo Tank destroyed by a medium tank. That's very nice. But aside from that, it doesn't look like we are going to be able to go any further into that area. That's pretty much as far as it's going to go for now. We could potentially use this tank to interrupt this, I guess. That would probably maybe be another good idea. Clozo is going to have to start building heavy units out of this area, though, in order to attack this. So he's used so much of his funds, so much of his effort defending this area, that, once again, this area is kind of like a little bit lackluster in the overall army situation here, right? But I mean, if P-Dog gets this base, then there's really only like one place or two places, I guess, to build your units from. So we can definitely are probably going to be seeing some big boys come out of those areas pretty soon. And actually, honestly, with the amount of units right here, like, it might not even be a bad idea to build a Jess battleship. Send the battleship like right here and start attacking this area. A big old battleship fire. But we are sitting at 28 units to 34 right now. The funds are not really too different for overall, like, army. Oh, big old attack with the Neo on the medium tank. Ooh. Painful. Painful stuff, folks. Painful stuff. But Jess does have the Mega Tank right here in a good position to attack another Mega Tank. And that is with Overdrive by the looks of it here. So let's see if Clozo decides to pop a big old Overdrive. Yes, we do. Are we going to see a Mega Tank hit? Okay, so this is going to be the stuff dreams are made of. I'm telling you. And I really hope that this happens. Because, I mean, the Mega Tank doesn't really have any other options, right? It could go up here and attack this guy. It could attack the... you know, the medium tank, whatever. But, I mean, there's really only one option right here. So I am really hoping that this attack happens. Okay. 2 tanks taking out a stinky Neo tank with the assistance of an artillery. And then, oh my god. Oh, did you see that? That is what DPS is all about, folks. One-shotting a Mega Tank with a Mega Tank. Like, Mega Tanks are just, like, too much. They are so powerful. I mean, any unit that can just one-shot itself is just wild, man. Just some wild stuff. We got a Jess Battleship. That's what I was thinking, folks. This is what I was thinking right here. Jess Battleship. Plop it over here. Boom. Might even be able to hit it, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah, we can. If we plop it right there in the corner, put it right in harm's way, we'll be able to fire on this property here. It's not going to stop a Mega Tank, you know. It's not going to stop a Mega Tank. But anything else that's built out of that, definitely going to stop it. Overdrive after a medium tank sack. Are we going to have 2 more medium tanks sack into this Mega Tank? Yes, and they take it out. 3 Mega Tanks, or not 3 Mega Tanks, 3 medium tanks taking out a Mega Tank right there. Once again, folks, it's the stuff of dreams. I mean, everybody does know that a Mega Tank is just 3 medium tanks in a trench coat, and that's exactly how many medium tanks it took to take out a Mega Tank. Beautiful stuff. It's canon, I know. 100%. Neo tanks are on the move right now, taking out artillery. Another Neo tank plopping in over there on the weak side. And wow, it is just looking just violent at the moment. Okay, so Clozo, 40 grand in the bank to a 48 grand right now. So it is looking a little bit dicey when it comes to the overall funds. Day 15, Neo tanks are just plopping out of properties all over the place. Let's see what happens here. So double battleships right now. The sneaky sea attacker, that's what we got right now. Alright, so we do a couple engagements up here. We managed to take out 1 Neo tank, and there is still 2 Neo tanks right here. We got a little tank right here, a little tank right here. Little tiny skirmish going off on the side here right now between a couple infantry. So, Clozo, what's going to be the plan? I guess it's P-Dog's turn. So P-Dog's turn to start doing stuff. Alright, so Neo tank engagement right here takes out a tank, takes on infantry, plops another Neo tank. Does a engagement right here, takes these out. These guys are going to be able to push up into this area. I mean, honestly, you might as well just push up into that spot. Build a medium tank down here, very nice. So I mean, these battleships are pretty good, but they have to get in position to lock this base. That's the most important thing. I mean, right now, they are only going to be able to fire on 2 units, so it's not like super threatening at the moment, but once they do move in, it is going to become a lot more threatening for sure. And despite everything, like, Clozo is holding on pretty good here, but he is going to need some more units out of here. Like, I think we definitely need a couple of Neo tanks. As stinky as they are, we need a couple of Neo tanks plopping out of that area. Alright, we got 1 Neo tank, very, very nice. Alright, protecting the Neo tank with the infantry right here. I just want to point this out right now that one of the starting infantry is actually still alive right here. And actually the second starting infantry is still alive right here. So you love to see it, folks. You love to see it. Is P-Dog's starting infantry still alive? I don't know. I think he was facing the right way. So yeah, unfortunately. Very, very cool stuff. Alright. P-Dog captured one of the middle properties after a long struggle. Moving the Neo tank into danger territory over here too, but managed to cover it with another Neo tank. Actually, let's just say it's covered with 4 Neo tanks and a medium tank. No, 3 Neo tanks and a medium tank. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good right there. I don't really see much more happening this turn from P-Dog. It's mostly just a push into this area right now. Built a tank out of this, or maybe a tank moved there, one way or another. So that is the end of the game. Clozo has resigned, and understandably so. Once you lose this base and you're unable to capture another base, it's just a slow decline until the very end of the game. But a very, very well played match from P-Dog, and like a very well showing from Clozo as well. I think really the problem here was, I mean, the Mega Tanks are super good out of this property, but I think we just go way too heavy on the Mega Tanks and just sort of put a little bit too much trust in their power. Now, if we had maybe plopped out a couple more Mega Tanks or Neo Tanks out of this spot and started to attack down here as this attack was going on, maybe it would have been a little bit different. You know, P-Dog might not have been able to shift these units effectively over here. Or, no, where did they go? They went up here? Wherever they went. Yeah, they went down south. So he might not have been able to effectively shift those units down there. These guys maybe come down here and start attacking as this is all going on, you know? But aside from that, fantastic game overall. Mega fun to watch that one, folks. So hopefully you all enjoyed the content. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed that one. I know I did. And fun fact, there was no airport captured on this entire map, and no air units were harmed in the making of this video. So it's been Semi-Original Guy. Take care, folks. Bye-bye for now.